I had a thought. I was going to ask everybody to come forward, but that might imbalance the room, so I'm going to let you guys stay where you are. Cause a gravitational well or something like that. Okay. How y'all doing tonight? Huh? Stuffed? Why are you stuffed? Oh, man. How many of you guys are looking forward to Thanksgiving? How many of you guys are looking forward to Thanksgiving prayers? And how many of you guys are looking forward to Thanksgiving meals? No, as I said, meals. How many of you guys are going to have more than one Thanksgiving meal this week? Yes, How many of you guys are going to regret that Monday morning? I got one hand. Yes, Ms. Janine has taken lots of metformin. Does not do good. So yes, all right. Well, it was very approaching this season of Thanksgiving. I'm not going to give you another message on being thankful. No, I did that already this morning in Sunday school. Pastor did one this morning. But I'd like to ask a question. Can we agree on this statement? This one. Let me know if you can. We are living in some interesting days. Yeah. Okay, can you? Yeah. Really interesting. We have China moving its forces around the Asian seas, posturing. Right? We haven't seen this in a while. Every time this happens, generally the U.S. moves their naval forces in and they kind of back off. But no, they're holding their ground right now. And then who's allied with them right now? The Philippines. The Philippines. Let's ponder on that for a second there. The Philippines. We have a virtual stalemate in Syria. Right? We have two of the biggest powers in the world backing different sides in the same country. Not a whole lot of end in sight there. We have Mosul, which was once free in Iraq, taken over by ISIS, and is now being taken back by a coalition of Kurdish, Iraqi Shia, and Christian soldiers. Have any of you ever seen that coming? Christians fighting along Muslims, fighting along Kurds in the same country where they used to fight and war and kill each other to fight against another enemy? Really interesting. We have the United Kingdom leaving the European Union that it helped to found. We have protests against the president-elect of the United States of America. That by itself should call some attention to our eyes. Then we have the U.S. government on good terms with Cuba. That hasn't been a truth in my lifetime. Any of yours? It is today. And then the future president of the United States praising the leader of an imperialist Russia. Has that happened in your lifetimes? No. In fact, there hasn't been an imperialist Russia since the beginning of the last century. This is interesting, folks. That's all. If you pay attention to this stuff, to me it looks like a lot of upheaval, a lot of things just going on. Anybody know where that's still going to end up? Anybody? Any takers? Anybody know the future on this? Certainly not me. You know, if we get wrapped up in all of it, we could probably say that there's a lot to fear right now. But let me give you some encouragement. In 2 Timothy chapter 1, starting in verse 6, Paul says, "Wherefore I put thee in remembrance that thou stir up the gift of God, which is in thee by putting on of my hands. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Guys, there's an article published a few years ago talking about the top 10 strong human fears. And there is, the old classics, death. How many of you guys might be afraid of death? Or maybe the avenue death might come. Anybody afraid of the avenue death might come? Yeah. I'm not too keen on, getting crunched in a car and surviving for a few more minutes, yeah. Or fire, or an airplane dropping. I mean, I like to fly. It's fun and everything like that, but yeah. It's made by man, it might fail. How many of you guys have never ridden on a plane? Yes. I'll see you at the terminal. No, but, right? Another one is rejection, public speaking. How many of you guys want to get up here? Somebody want to get up here? Oh, come on, there's going to be some takers. No? No, all right. Teenagers, you will have your chance. January, it's coming for you. All right. But another one of the things that's up in the top 10 is the unknown. Let me ask you guys, now you know how I do this, it's a little more interactive. Can I get some examples of unknowns that you might be afraid of today or have been? Or things that you just don't know how they'll turn out. How about that? Anybody? Good. I saw that hand. Come on. He was. Should take that. Anybody? Go ahead. Okay. You have no idea what's going to happen with that, right? Anybody else? Eric. Future job security. Yeah, I've really seen that. Go ahead. And the economy. No control. It's absolutely unknown. What else? Go ahead. Making it through school. And you could say, hey, I work hard and everything like that, but something could happen. Or it just may not turn out the way you want it. The result may not be what you were aiming for. Go ahead. Thank you. No, I didn't. No. The next day is gonna break. Okay, it's an unknown. Are you terrified of that? No. Okay, I'm just wondering. It's going to fear. Go ahead. Say that again. Dinosaur. Banning dinosaur chicken nuggets. Well, depending on what country they come from, they may cost you a lot more in the coming days. Okay. No, guys, these are all very good. These are all very good. Today, I'll try to split these up into a couple of categories, and then let's see what God's Word says about these fears, right? Okay, can we try that tonight? All right, well, let's start by praying. Heavenly Father, I want to ask that you be with me this evening, Lord. You brought this to the top of my mind above everything else, Lord, and like that you just speak your words through me, Lord. That you make us attentive to what your word says, Lord. You know it's not my words, Lord. And then honestly, if I just jump to the end, Lord, if we have any fears holding us back, Lord, that we would be convicted to lay them out at the altar before you, Lord. Clear them out of our heart and hand them over to you, because we know you can handle all things. In your precious and holy name I pray. Amen. All right. So, I think many of our unknown fears can be put into two categories. One, hurt caused by things man may do to me. Okay, let's see here. My two favorite brothers, Adam and Dustin, come to the table here. Yes, thank you very much. Sometimes there's an honest answer. Do you ever hurt each other? Do you ever like walk by and just yeah? Here we go. These are hurts that people do to us. But that's not the hurt I'm talking about. You guys can go ahead and sit. I just want to bring you up there and make you do that. And see if you would behave. Oh yeah. No, really, I'm talking about hurts that, like really things that we kind of fear that we just don't know what's going to happen. Have you guys ever tried to witness to somebody that you know didn't want to hear it? Yeah. I think especially this time right now, people are going to be a lot more polarized towards hearing the word of God one way or the other. All right? That rejection, that can sometimes hamstring us, you know? Or even when they start to try to label us, oh, you're all haters, you all hate everybody, right? Anybody want to be labeled that? Anybody ascribe to be that here? I don't think anyone else does. The fear of that can be paralyzing. It can even make you an outcast. It can cause us to undergo persecution. You know, we would say that conservatives won the election, but it's not. Is that going to change things on the ground for Christians every day? No, it's not. It's not going to improve our lot at all. But Christ speaks on this, starting in John 15:18. He says, if the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. This is Jesus Christ, who exhorts us to lay down everything and follow him. He says, same time, they're going to persecute you. Know this, right? So this is all in the back of your mind. Teenagers, do you guys sometimes feel, or fear for persecution when you're at school? You got some nodding heads. Some of you guys at work? Yeah. This can even extend to our government, because I think we think of man, we think of people that we see, people we can touch, people we can name, people you elect, right? Give an example. This is an interesting unknown. I've talked to a lot of people about this, actually, whether it be at work and other places. The Affordable Care Act, we know that as Obamacare. Okay, yes. You gotta love how they name things for the president that started it, right? All of them. It's quite interesting, right? Both its inception and its repeal will cause untold amounts of upheaval to the lives of everyday people, maybe even people here. You know, in Kentucky, because of the provisions in the Affordable Care Act, they were able to expand Medicaid coverage. Normally, it was just the poorest of the poor, people who were disabled, children, like that. They were expanding that coverage. A third of the people in the state of Kentucky are on Medicaid today. Should a full-on repeal happen, those people would be kicked off. Crazy, right? But it's causing harm to me, right? In some cases, but in some other people, it's actually helping them. People with pre-existing conditions, full-on repeal would actually set the clock back on some of those things. Some of those things would not be covered under the health care, or it's really expensive. Give an example, our pastor. Prior to that, and I know he said up here that it was actually a blessing for him. Prior to that, our premiums for his health care just by himself was like $1,000 a month. Yeah. It went up this year back up to like $200 a month for him and his wife. That's big unknowns. You might want some of these changes to happen, but there are serious unknowns and they have wide-ranging effects. Do you think our pastor's not somewhat worried about the result of all these things? About all the rhetoric and the talk? No, I am. To be honest, I think that in some way, some of the provisions of that may allow Janine and I to actually try to try more fertility procedures and not have to pay out our whole life savings, you know, and mortgage our house for it. What was it that's lost? These are fears. These are serious. These are everyday, guys. But our God does say something about this. So the first, the fear of man bringeth a snare. But whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe. Guys, if we fear things that man may do, decision, indecision, confrontation, and all these things, what happens? We're trapped. You can't step to the right, you can't step to the left, you can't step forward, you don't even want to speak up. You may not even want to speak for something that you feel is right, because it could hurt you or somebody else or whatever have you. You are, in effect, trapped. But God says we put our trust in him, we will be safe. Right? It also says the fear of the Lord, now this is the respect of the Lord, this is the obedience of the Lord, tendeth to life. And he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. Do you believe God will make a way for you through anything? Say amen tonight. I just named a whole lot of scary things just with one change in law. We're about to see a whole lot of them. But can you still believe that God is on the throne tonight? This is what we must keep in our hearts. With all the media noise and all the things that we see happening and all the yelling and screaming by all sorts of people, for us, the truth is God is still in control. And we should use that, and we should remember this whenever our fears start to rise and start to make us worried. Deuteronomy 7:21, thou shalt not be affrighted at them. For the Lord thy God is among you, a mighty God and terrible. You think there's anything God is going to let come at you that he's not going to give you a way to get through? You think so? Do you think God's going to leave you in the middle of any of these things? No, he's right with you. Sometimes it's giving you the words to say. Sometimes bringing help from a direction you never knew it was coming from. I'll give an example. I worked at Stericycle, previous job. There's a young man there named Andy Cook. He came on, he was actually only really there for like 2 or 3 months, honestly. It was funny. They hired him in. He had left his other job at a place called, I want to say Super ATV. You guys know of Super ATV? They are the world's largest producer of ATVs. They're here in Indiana. They're really cool. They do stupid stuff in these ATVs, I'm telling you. Like he used to do graphics and video for them, right? But they wouldn't let him work remotely. He needed to come to Indianapolis to take care of his father. So he ends up at Stericycle. And Stericycle's a great place to work in general. Though some of the HR policies tended on the more confrontational liberal side. In fact, on our HR videos, they literally had a segment on sharing your faith with other people. Given by an example of a Christian person persistently and annoyingly, might I add. Do you guys annoying when you share your faith with your coworkers? No. Are you like, hey, I need to read this. Hey, let me talk about this. Hey, every single second? No, that's how they portray Christians. I'm sitting in there and I'm like, what am I going to do? Fortunately, I worked in Indianapolis and not Chicago. So, people a lot more grounded in Indianapolis, as it turns out. But we're a whole lot of voices, openly professing Christ there. One is an argument arises, and I'm like, here comes another one. People talking about this, debating about this. I'm going to say something, and it comes out of nowhere and says, you know what? I don't mean to be mean to anybody or anything like that, but my God, my Bible says this is wrong, and this is what I believe. Now, he also tells me not to hate people, but I believe X, Y, Z is wrong. And that was that. And I was like, there's somebody else. I am not alone. Guess what? Andy Cook works where I work now. He left Stericycle, and lo and behold, before I even got to Blue Pillar, he was already hired there, along with a host of other people that I knew. Before I find out are church-going people, and we can actually have good discussions while I'm there. Amazing, isn't it? Here I have this unknown fear of what's going to happen at this new job, and God sends me somebody. Me. Do you guys have that happen at your jobs? You guys need to give these testimonies on Wednesday, because these are things I think all of us need to actually hear. Okay. All right. We continue on. God exhorts us not to be afraid of men and what they may do, because he is always with us. But there's another set of fears, and I'm going to categorize everything else in. These are fears that are of things that we can't touch, that we can't see. These are further away. Fear of things done by the world, things done by nations, by terrorists, even our own society. You guys have fears about the way society is going. For yourselves, for your children, for their children, for our freedoms. Yeah, Real fears. I'm on YouTube. I'm saying this. This is real fears here. These people are faceless and nameless foes, right? You don't know who they are. Just somebody on a screen wearing a mask or holding up a sign, or somebody threatening to come and kill us in our homes. But all these faceless and nameless foes are ultimately under the influence and the will of the prince of this world, namely Satan. They got us worrying about another 9/11, about another Boston Marathon, or maybe the first incident in Indianapolis. Crazy enough, we've been kind of safe here, haven't we? Nothing's really happened here. Worldwide financial crises. How many of you guys work for a company that is multinational? Oh yeah, Miss Janine. How many of you guys work for a company that's publicly traded? How many of you guys work for a company that takes grants and monies from the federal government? Federal government, yes. This includes all hospitals, healthcare organizations, and everything else too. Yeah. Utility providers, they're actually publicly traded. I actually have some in my 401k. I never pay attention to it. Money just kind of goes in there. But I know they're in there. I know they're in there. Worldwide upheaval, changes in economy, affects all of our jobs, all of our livelihood. Some guy blowing up a ship in the Atlantic Ocean, no matter what was on it, affects everything from oil to raw materials, airplane flights. That's going to come home. Do any of us have control over any of that? Any of you guys? I see your faces, you're like, man, I don't have any control over that. God has something to say about that too. These things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation. Does that sound like tribulation to you, all those things? The things we keep hearing on the radio and in the news. Admittedly, I believe the news likes to slant things, likes to push out a whole lot more things to the forefront that are bad or represent a certain worldview than others. But that being said, God says, be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. Do we believe that tonight? That's not very strong. Do we believe that? Do we believe that every day? When you're confronted with these things, when you read this stuff in the newspaper, hear it on the news, on the radio, when Fox News flashes that ever-rotating alert, 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 alert with the one little blurb down there, yes, they do. It's kind of funny. Or CNN says, breaking news. Are you still remembering that? God has overcome the world. Whatever's going to flash on that screen, he's got under his control. He says also, and this one's a little stronger, have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God with thee, is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. Isaiah 41:10, fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Guys, tonight, God is upholding us with his right hand. We're not just sitting down here by ourselves, trying to fend off the enemy, saying, God, send us some help, and he drops some help here and there. No. We are literally above all of it while we're in the midst of it. He is holding us up with his right hand. This is a safe place. Can anybody take you out of God's hand? Is there anybody? Can Satan do it? Can you even jump out of God's hand? You can turn your back on him, in which case you won't receive all of his blessing, but he still has you in his hand. You may try to dangle, you may try to dabble in sin and all of these things. He still has you. Does that mean you won't suffer consequences for your sin? No, that's not what this says. But he still has you. When you stray away, it's not that you have to run back to him. You just have to realize that he still has you. How How many guys can say tonight, you know what, maybe I strayed away a little bit and I don't feel I'm as close as I used to? Anybody? Anybody want to nod? Blink their eyes, maybe? Oh, I got a hand. All right. He's got you here. Folks, there's nothing that Satan can do to us directly himself, through proxies, right? Through governments, terrorists, through people, through our Congress people, sometimes know what they're doing, through disasters, that God cannot protect us from or give us a way to endure because we are in his hand. If my God says I'm in his right hand, and mind you, for me, my right hand is my strongest dominant hand. Try to take something from me when I'm holding it in my right hand. It is not going to happen. Ask my wife. We fight over all sorts of things that way. But he's got you in his right hand. Here. His right hand of righteousness. So all of his power and everything is right here. This should give us great comfort in the middle of everything, right? Does it give you comfort today? All right. All right, guys, closing. You know, I aimed for this one not to be super long, but I think I'm actually a little shorter than I want it to be. All right. Friends, in closing, as we start this Thanksgiving season, we need to set aside that which will rob us of true thankfulness. These fears, this unknown. A lot of times we get in this mindset, hey, if I know about it, I can fight it, right? I can handle this. I can push this off to the side, right? Parents, buying gifts for your children, right? It could be fraught with disaster and worry. But you're like, you know what, if I know about it, I can set outside a little bit here, and I can push that off, and maybe put that on the car, or do something like that here. I can handle it, right? Well, what happens when the car breaks down? How many of you guys have ever had that during Christmas season? Or a furnace? Or a water heater? What else we had? I'm trying to think. Well, that's kind of a fix. All right. These things happen. And they will rob you of your thankfulness. They will put you in a worried state during a time which we've said to ourselves, we're not going to be worried about anything. We're just going to have thanksgiving to God for all that he's done for us. Let us set aside these fears tonight, guys. Let's put aside those things that quiet our praises, those things that add doubt to our declarations of God's promises. Our first verse said, God hath not given us the spirit of fear. No, family, God gave us love. And we know and believe that God hath, we believe the love that God hath to us. God is love, and he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him. Are you dwelling in God tonight, people? Say amen. Herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment. Because as he is, so are we in this world. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear. It is the perfect love of Christ tonight, folks, that allows us to triumph over all fears, to succeed through all trials, and to endure all tribulations. And this love can never be taken from us. This is my last verse, and it's a really good one because I like it. It's from Paul to the church in Rome. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any creature shall be able to separate us from the love of God, which is in Christ Jesus our Lord. Do you have the love of Jesus tonight, people? Amen. Then let's put aside all the fears. Let's lay them down at the altar. Let God take them. You know he's waiting, right? You're in his right hand. I think you can lay off. I think his right hand, which can hold all of his people, can hold some of our fears this night. Let's lay them down at the altar. All right. We don't need any music. We just come to the altar. All right. Bow our head and close our eyes. You have business to do with God? Come to the altar.